It's about 5:30 in the morning, and in an hour or so, we'll be boarding a plane heading to Santorini. You're probably wondering why so early, considering the flight from Athens to Santorini is only like 50 minutes long, which means we'll be there probably around 8, and we can't even check in our hotel until 11 or 12, maybe even later. Well, the reason why we're going this early is because we only have 1.5 days to explore Santorini. And what we had planned for today, since I believe the whole island can be explored in one day, is to start from one end of the island and finish on the other end, visiting landmarks along the way. Well, at least that was our plan. Alright, we're boarding, going to Santorini. It's about 6:55 in the morning. Coming here, I have to be honest, I had very little knowledge about Greece. I mean, I still do. Of course, I know the city of Athens, and I've heard about the Greek islands before, but I have no clue what they were. Initially, our plan was to just stay in Athens, but every time I googled something about Greece, or the best places in Greece, Santorini always pops up. So we just had to include that in our trip and see it for ourselves. Anyway, speaking of Greek islands, I found out that Greece has like 6,000 islands scattered all around the Aegean and Ionian seas, but only 200 or so are inhabited. Santorini or Thera is located in the southern Aegean Sea. It's part of a group of islands that circle the volcano, which is known to have caused probably the largest recorded volcanic eruption on Earth, which happened sometime around 1600 BC. In fact, the eruption was so strong, it created giant tsunamis and wiped out civilizations. It was called the Minoan eruption. Anyway, the volcano erupted so many times throughout the centuries and eventually formed the islands of Santorini, which we know today. We're here in Santorini. Man, it's so windy. Alright, so we're here in Santorini now, and I wanted to take our rent of the dogs. I wanted to rent a car, but we don't have an international license. We have to have an international license for that. So we're just gonna take the public transportation, which is the bus, and I think it's over here. Alright, so we're at the bus. We're just waiting for it to leave. So this is where our plan changed. Like I said, the reason why we came here so early was to explore the whole island, and renting a car was a big part of the plan. But since we weren't able to rent a car, we decided to take the bus going to Thera instead, which was only about $2 a person one way. You see, there are 4 towns in Santorini which are located throughout the island, and Thera is the main town, or the capital of Santorini, located right at the center. Yeah, we could have taken the bus going to each town, but we didn't know anything about the bus routes or how often it goes around. And since our hotel is in Thera, we decided to just go there and figure out what to do. So this is the first stop. We're actually in Thera right now, the main city. This is the museum. Not far from the bus stop, we came across this museum. It's the Museum of Prehistoric Thera. This museum exhibits ancient artifacts excavated here in Santorini since 1867. You'll find sculptures, jewelry, ceramics, stone paintings, and ritual objects dating back to the late Neolithic age, which was around 6400 BCE. I guess if you really want to learn or know more about the history of Santorini, you should definitely go to this museum. Which I don't know if we're gonna go in, but right next to it is this cathedral right here. We might go in there. We wanted to go inside a church, but it's locked. But oh my god, look at that view right there. Man, that's crazy. But this is the church. This church is called Hypapanthi Orthodox Church. I hope I pronounced that right, but I couldn't find any information about this church or its history online, aside from the fact that it was built in 1968. My travel app says that it's similar to a mosque, and it's one of the most beautiful churches here in Thera. It's probably the biggest one too. Anyway, this church is located right as you enter the town, coming from the bus station. To me, I think the coolest part of this church is the amazing view you see here of the town and the Aegean Sea facing the Santorini volcano. This is right in the middle of the island. It's called Thera. That's the city. But look at this, this is crazy. Our hotel is somewhere here. It's really close. Yeah, so we ended up here first. We're not supposed to come here right now. We're supposed to go to Red Beach first, and then walk or take the bus all the way here. because our hotel isn't, we can't check in yet because it's really early right now. So what we planned to do was just go to Red Rock first, or Red Beach first, and check out some sites there, and then make our way here, have breakfast there, make our way here, have lunch, and then go all the way to that other end, that town right there, that corner. So we'll probably go there at night and have dinner there. But this is just crazy. Look at this. There's supposed to be a volcano here. I think that's the volcano. So at this point, since we didn't go to the red beach I was talking about, which is by the way the most beautiful beach in the island, we decided to explore this town instead and have breakfast here before checking in our hotel. But first, I wanted to see if we could go inside the cathedral and see what it looks like. So this is the mosque. We're gonna try to get in, but somebody, I think they're like praying or something right now. Look at this. Look at that. That's I forgot what that is. I'm not sure if there was a service going on or it was about to start, but there were only a few people inside. I have no idea where the music is coming from, but we silently walked inside and checked it out. As you can see, the church is not that big, but the decorations were really nice, especially the frescoes and mosaic on the walls, which goes all the way up to the dome. Alright, they're having a kind of like a mass or something. I wanted to go inside more, but I don't want to be rude. So we're gonna go head to our hotel right now. Fira, like I said, is the capital of Santorini. Fira came from the ancient name of the island, which is called Thera. As you can see, the town is situated at the edge of the cliff, 1,312 feet above the Aegean Sea below. The town is predominantly built with the popular whitewashed houses you've probably seen in pictures related to Greece. You'll find museums, churches, restaurants, shops, and a port accessed by a zigzag path you can climb by foot, a cable car, or on a donkey. Yes, I did say donkey. Anyway, the city and the island as a whole was home to the Minoan civilization dating back to 3000 BC. After the eruption of the Santorini volcano in 1600 BC, it remained unoccupied until the 9th century BC. Today, Santorini has a population somewhere around 15,000 people, and it thrives primarily on tourism. It even has its own wine industry. So here in Fira, you'll find a lot of hotels, shops, restaurants, and bars. So I'm going to our hotel. We just decided to walk around a little bit because this place has like little alleyways and stuff where it leads to all the shops and stuff. They're still closed. A lot of them are still closed because it's so early. But this must be really nice at night. So far it's nice. It's quiet and it's still early. But I kind of want to eat. I'm kind of hungry. I'm gonna get some breakfast. Since we knew we still couldn't check in our hotel yet, we looked around for a place to have breakfast. But most of the restaurants are either closed or just getting ready to open. So we decided to look for a hotel first, passing by this church. This is the St. John the Baptist Cathedral. Surprisingly, I just found out it's a Roman Catholic church. We didn't know it at that time, but it's actually the first Catholic church we've seen in Greece. I actually thought it was an Orthodox church. You see, majority of people here are Orthodox and only a few are Greek Catholic. I've read that most of the Catholics here are from Albania, Poland, and other parts of the world. Anyway, this church is located at the center of Fira, founded in 1204 by the Roman Catholic Diocese of Santorini. The church was built in 1823 and was destroyed by an earthquake in 1956. It was only in 1970 when it was rebuilt to what it is today. So, as we were going to our hotel, we spotted this church. It's called the Church of the Saint John the Baptist. I think it is because it's on my app. Let's see what's inside. You know, looking at the interior, it's hard to tell that it's a Catholic church because the design is kind of different. I mean, I didn't even see an organ. Usually Catholic churches almost always has those. Typically you'll see it above the entrance. Okay, maybe I missed it because I wasn't really looking for it, but honestly this church is kind of similar to an Orthodox church in my opinion.
The church is really small. There's nobody here right now. Yeah, this is it. This is crazy. If you don't have a GPS, you're gonna get lost here. Of all the roads leading down, going up. Yeah, there's a lot of turns and little alleyways. You'll get lost. Sometimes you don't even know that's like actually a main street or a main road. But our hotel is somewhere here. You just have to look for it. Oh, it's right here in front of me. This is our hotel. Okay. Let's go in. Entrance is allowed to guests only. Alright. Oh god. This is the hotel.
We tried to check in, but we were told it was still too early and our rooms were still occupied, so we had no choice but to come back later.
Like we expected, we can't check in yet because the check-in is at 12 and it's like 9 o'clock, but we're gonna look for a place to have lunch. No, breakfast. So that's the tricky part here, is to find the right restaurant.
Remember the donkey ride I was talking about earlier? Well, this is it. It's the pathway going down the Port of Fira.
I guess they have like donkey rides here and they just go down the trail all the way down there.
So right next to this is this restaurant. There are a few restaurants close by that are open as well, but we ended up choosing this place simply because of this. You can actually see the Orthodox church we went to earlier. It's on the upper left side. Anyway, I ordered a grilled octopus, which I've been wanting to try ever since I knew we were coming here. And for her, she ordered the swordfish fillet. I'm sorry, but unfortunately you'll see a lot of this view throughout this video. I just can't help it. For our drinks, I got myself their local beer, in a frozen glass mug I might add. And for her, she got herself a regular coffee. Okay, so this is the grilled octopus I ordered. I'm not sure when or who started eating octopus, because you'll see this seafood served all over the world, especially in Asia. But here in Greece, it's been a delicacy since the ancient times, particularly here in the Greek islands. Although I haven't seen it, but I've read that they would pound the octopus against a rock to tenderize the meat, and then hang them from a rope in sunlight like laundry before they grilled it and served it like this. Normally they would sprinkle the octopus with olive oil, but this one looks like they didn't. Which I don't mind because this is exactly how I like it. A whole octopus tentacle grilled in charcoal served with rice, or maybe a pasta called orzo and a lemon. Right here is our swordfish fillet. To me, this is probably one of the hardest fish to cook because the meat is pretty thick. If you don't cook it right, it will end up either rubbery, hard, or dry. I think the best way to cook swordfish is like this, grilled. Although I'm not sure about this one though, it kinda looks a little dry and hard. Well, we'll see. So back to my grilled octopus. I have to say, cutting it through with my knife, it felt tender and a bit tough at the center. Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, just look how big this thing is. It's for sure the largest octopus I've ever had in my life. Okay, after that bite, the first thing that hit me was the flavor. That amazing grilled flavor. I could really taste the charcoal, and as for the texture, it was slightly tender, but it's mostly chewy. The pasta, which I now know it was just wonderful. I have no idea what they put in it. It doesn't look like it, but I'm sure it had some kind of sauce because it was very flavorful. It really works well with the octopus. It was so good. Anyway, even though the octopus was a bit chewy, for me it was just perfect because that awesome grilled flavor lingered more as I kept chewing it. And adding lemon on it gave it that freshness that won't let you get tired of the flavor. I really like this dish a lot. You know, I've seen octopus prepared many ways. I've even tried a few, like takoyaki in Japan, and the octopus we had in Spain, which was kinda similar to the one we had in Athens a few days ago. The most extreme one I've seen was a video from Korea where they eat it alive. But this one for me is how it should be. So as for the swordfish, she cut a piece for me to try, and I did the same for my octopus. First of all, I thought the swordfish was going to be hard and dry. It was actually cooked perfectly. I mean, it's not as soft as cod or salmon. Let's just say the texture was meaty. And as for the flavor, to be honest, I don't remember it. So without a doubt, this grilled octopus was the best for me. I really enjoyed everything on this dish. It was simple but very flavorful. It was amazing. And as for the swordfish, although I can't remember the flavor, all I know is that it's not bad and it's not hard or dry. I guess the most important thing is that she liked it. Anyway, there's nothing more enjoyable than having a good meal while surrounded with a view like this. I'm so glad we came here.
Alright, we just had a breakfast / lunch. And we're just basically gonna go walk around this area and eat some food maybe.
Since our room wasn't ready yet, we had to kill some time walking around this town. I'm not saying it in a negative way, because that's exactly what you should do when you're here, is to explore every part of this city. It's just that we had a different plan coming here. If we followed that plan, we're probably just on our way coming here from the other side of the island, who knows. Maybe next time if we ever come back here, we'll definitely do that. I'll just have to make sure I get my international driver's license. Anyway, the city of Fira is really beautiful. The architecture of the houses here are just something else. Well, I think most of the buildings are hotels and restaurants, but you know what I mean. And even though the town is not that big, the atmosphere and the vibe of this place is like a dream. It's so relaxing. I think that's a perfect description for it. People here are just friendly and happy.
So the donkeys earlier, they walked all the way down that stairs. See that winding stairs right there? All the way down there. And down there is it's like a port. It's not really a beach. But up here the sun is really getting hot now. Oh man, that smells good.
So after walking around a bit, trying to figure out if some of the houses here are private residence or hotels, we went back to our hotel to check in.
Okay, so we're at the hotel now. And this is my room. That's my room. Oh, it's open already. Alright, I ran out of battery, but they have like a little AC here going. That's the outside. This is my bed. It's nice, not bad. Ceilings are pretty high. And the bathroom is here. It's not bad. Now we're going to just go around. We just figured we're just gonna go around and then eat food. That's it, probably. We're just gonna walk around this whole village.
We were planning on going to the town called Iya, spelled as OIA, which is located at the northwest tip of the island. I would say it's about a 2-hour walk from here, and by bus I think it's about 30 minutes. But we decided to stay in this city and kind of do our own food tour since we realized that the food here in Greece was just amazing. So at this point, we decided to spend the whole day trying out as many dishes as we can, hopping from one restaurant to another, ordering different kinds of food.
So this place is like actually small. We've been all over every single, probably not every single, but every little road here, and it always comes back to this. This is like the best spot. The other side is just, yeah, it's not that great, but we'll still walk around and see. Maybe we'll go there. We haven't been to that area right there. We'll go there. Here we came across this restaurant. We actually decided to go up a little bit more, but we're gonna check out if they have some kind of nice food here. All right, we decided not to because they really didn't have any starters. We're gonna go up some more and see if there's more restaurants up here. Our hotel is right here. We decided to climb up, but we're probably gonna go there later. And this, you know, we decided to just explore this area because there's more areas over here of the island and over on that side of the island. But we're here at the center of the whole island of Santorini, which is, I think this is their capital, called Fira. Alright, so I spotted another restaurant, this one. We're gonna go in here and get something. We actually spotted one, which is, where's that? The marinated octopus. I'm gonna do that again, but this one is marinated with olive oil. So we'll try that one. Let's go.
You know, this is the hardest thing about making my videos, editing out the background music and doing voiceovers. Sometimes I wish they just stop playing music in restaurants. I mean, people go to restaurants for the food and conversations, right? I don't think people go there and listen to music, which, by the way, you can even choose the music you like. Anyway, this is the marinated octopus served with fava puree, lemon, and olive oil. First of all, compared to the octopus I had earlier, this one is obviously smaller. Well, I guess that's okay, because after all, this is from one of their starters, so we weren't expecting it to be a lot. Now, I'm not sure if the octopus was grilled or baked, but what I found interesting is the fava puree. I'm not really familiar with this food, but it's actually very popular here in Santorini. It's kind of similar to hummus, but it's not. It's made of yellow fava beans pureed with onions, garlic, lemon, olive oil, salt, and pepper. So this octopus was tender than the first one, I have to give it that. It cuts a little bit easier too. But to be honest, I feel so stupid watching and editing this video because the whole time we were eating this, I thought the fava puree was some kind of sauce for the octopus. It's funny because I've already had fava puree in Athens and I thought that one was mashed potatoes. Anyway, the octopus was nice and tender, but it was a bit tangy, probably from the marinade it was in. But listening to what I'm saying here, which I wish I didn't have to remove because of the background music, I was telling her how confused I am with the flavor because of the yellow sauce. Yeah, I told her that it wasn't sweet and that the texture was gritty, and I wondered why they made the sauce that way. Well, aside from my cluelessness, now that I know that it's fava puree, it was pretty good. Although the texture was like hummus, but the taste was definitely different. The flavor wasn't as strong as hummus. It had a nice clean flavor to it, and having it with the octopus wasn't that bad at all. I still prefer the rice pasta though. That one was just perfect. Well, if this octopus had that nice charcoal flavor to it, now that would have made this dish interesting. But it didn't have that flavor, so I still like the octopus I had earlier.
So we just finished having that meal, and we're walking, and this. Go ahead, that's fine. Okay, this guy right here, he's been there since like this morning. You see, he's making all this like necklaces and stuff. Look, since this morning. Alright, another spot. Found this. It was a long debate. We decided to go with the meatballs. And yeah, this is the restaurant. That's right. Oh. Hi. Alright, so they don't have meatballs, which kind of sucks. That's what we wanted. So we're gonna go here at this restaurant. We're probably gonna order some kind of seafood. So this is called, yeah, that. And let's see their menu. Alright, we're gonna go in.
They told us to go upstairs and pick a table. I thought it was kind of weird why they sat everyone up here. Well, I found out why as soon as we sat down. I didn't notice it at first because I was too focused looking at the menu. But when I looked up, I saw this and realized why they made us sit up here. I told you, you'll see a lot of this view because it's pretty much what you'll see here. Anyway, after scanning the menu, we decided to get the stuffed calamari with cheese mousse and basil sauce. And as for our drinks, I got myself another beer while she got some kind of a mixed drink. They called it Mama Thira. I asked her what it was. She said it's spicy rum and mystica, which is a sweet liquor produced in one of the Greek islands called Chios. So this is the stuffed calamari with cheese mousse and basil sauce. When it said stuffed calamari, I was expecting it to be fried because to me calamari is fried squid, and this one is just stuffed squid, probably grilled. Nobody really knows who started the idea of stuffing squid as a meal, but I've read it could have originated somewhere in Italy, or it could be here, who knows. All I know is that stuffed squid is very popular here in Greece. Anyway, it says that it's stuffed with cheese mousse, Now, I've never heard of cheese mousse before, so I looked it up and found out that people actually make it as a dessert. It kind of looks like cream cheese or whipped cream. Well, this one is stuffed inside the squid with basil sauce served with vegetables. I'm not going to lie, this dish looks really good, but if they would have replaced the veggies with the rice pasta we had earlier, it seems like it would have paired well with the squid.
Whoa. What is that? I don't know what that is. Is it cheese? Looks like cheese, huh? Some peppers. Some bell peppers. Yeah.
Apparently there's more things stuffed in this squid other than the cheese, but as she was cutting through it, it kind of looked like it was a little overcooked.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Even as I cut through it myself, the meat felt a bit hard and bouncy. It wasn't soft. It did smell really good though. First of all, I'm not sure if this was grilled, because it didn't have that smoky flavor to it. The squid, as I expected, was a bit tough, but that sauce. I don't know what they do with their sauce here in Greece, but they sure know how to make them. It's hard to describe the sauce on this dish, because it was hitting on a different level. It was sweet, savory, tangy, cheesy. I've never tasted anything like this before. And mixed with the flavor of the squid, it was just perfect. Having it with potato wasn't bad, it actually works well with it, but it could do without the rest of the veggies. I would say if it wasn't for the sauce, the squid would have been just okay. I mean, I don't mind it being slightly overcooked, but the sauce definitely saved this dish. It was just amazing. Now if they had that rice pasta with this, I would have probably liked it better than the first octopus I've had earlier. It would have been perfect with that sauce.
But after this, we're gonna go on that side right there. Yeah. Go this way. Right there.
So after we ate, we decided to go further up the city just to see if there's something interesting to see there.
So we